Venezuela's strongman Nicolás Maduro is threatening to forcibly seize 3/4 of the territory of neighboring oil-rich Guyana. Will Joe Biden let him get away with it? Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. When dictators get in trouble, they often stir up a foreign crisis to rally nationalist support and divert people's attention from domestic problems. That's what's happening with Venezuela's hated strongman Nicolás Maduro, who is now laying claim to most of neighboring Guyana, which possesses huge offshore oil and gas deposits. Maduro's odious regime is under acute pressure. He has survived for years thanks to the Cuban secret police agents running his country's security services and a crucial aid from Russia and China. But his economy is in shambles with hyperinflation. Output from Venezuela's vast oil fields has plummeted because of socialist mismanagement and U.S.-imposed sanctions. Most of his population now lives in desperate poverty. Popular discontent has mushroomed, but Joe Biden has come to Maduro's rescue. Several months ago, the White House agreed to ease sanctions if Maduro promised to meet opposition leaders to arrange elections. Of course, Maduro agreed, since he had no intention to hold anything resembling free elections. He knew Biden needed his help. The Bidenites, having waged war on oil and gas production in the U.S., wanted access to Venezuela's crude to help guard against unwelcome rises in gasoline prices during our elections next year. The Venezuelan opposition has no illusions about Maduro. After all, he recently issued arrest warrants for a number of their leaders. But to give the appearance of keeping his promise, Maduro didn't stop the opposition from holding a nationwide primary to pick a presidential candidate to run against him in 2024. He thought his security forces could obstruct it. They couldn't. Despite threats and harassments, 2.3 million people voted and overwhelmingly chose Marina Corina Machado, a hardline opponent of Maduro's. Oops. So Maduro has turned to that ancient tool, whip up a crisis. He is demanding that Guyana turn over the bulk of their country to him. The disputed territory was awarded to Guyana by an international tribunal of jurists back in 1899. Several years ago, after that discovery of those oil and gas deposits, Venezuela reactivated claims on that territory. To counter Caracas's claims, Guyana in 2018 asked the International Court of Justice, the IJC, to adjudicate the matter. Maduro's response, nothing doing. He's warning he will use force to seize that territory. He figures the last thing Biden wants is another war, particularly one in this hemisphere. Under pressure from Brazil, Maduro and the president of Guyana are meeting this Thursday. Don't expect much from that meeting. This whole crisis is a result of Biden's projection of weakness. He won't give Ukraine what it needs to win its war. He continues to appease Iran and China. He pressures Israel not to eradicate Hamas. No wonder Maduro thinks the U.S. will end up forcing a highly favorable settlement for Venezuela, which would help his popularity, and if not, the crisis will give him the excuse to declare martial law and cancel those elections. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions, and look forward to being with you soon again.